I am. I am Jessie. Jessie. I am beautiful. I am graceful. I am enthusiastic. I am silly. I am helpful. I am loving. I am brave. I dream. I judge my emotions. My heart is filled with love. I have Down syndrome. Something extra, a chromosome.
Hi, I'm Jessie Huggett. I'm 17 years old, and I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome is when you have an extra chromosome in your body, and that's what I have. And I feel that anyone can actually overcome their disabilities by dancing, expressing their feelings and thoughts. I started dancing when I was very little. I like dance because it expresses your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts, and it actually creates a lot of building relationships.
Sometimes people with disabilities get bullied. They don't even get included in anything they want. That's not fair. That's not what we want. We want people to be included. We want people to do this and to do that. We want people who have intellectual disabilities to go out into the world and say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. No one should be, everyone should be included. Even people with intellectual disabilities.
A friend of Jessie's who had been taking dance with Hannah, her mom called me and said she couldn't believe that she forgot to tell me that there was this great dance class going on and Jessie might really love it because she knew how much Jessie loved to dance. And we had tried taking other dance classes before that weren't always a great success, in that Jessie absolutely loved to dance but has her own sense of rhythm and movement, and it didn't always fit in with some of the more standard ballet classes, where if somebody brought a shaker out, that's all that Jessie would do.
Well, my company is called the Dandelion Dance Company, and it's ages 13 to 17, and we actually create our own dances.
The Dandelion Dance Company was a very organic growth out of my existing school, which is Turn Us All Dance. So Turn Us All Dance is a school that I opened almost 8 years ago, and it was a place for children to share their own work. So it was a place for children to completely express themselves, to explore expressive movement and their ideas. And one of my students, Jessie Huggett, came to me with this idea to see if she could explore a movement piece based on her feelings about having Down syndrome. So I was so excited about this for many reasons. One, because I just get really excited about students sharing their passions. Two, my brother had Down syndrome. So I have very strong, passionate about respecting and understanding people with differences. So when she did this, I was very excited. And we shared it at the National Arts Centre. And honestly, the feedback was, people were like a standing ovation. Like it was just this massive feedback. And people said, you have to take this farther. You have to go somewhere with this dance. Like more people need to see this in this tiny little audience. So this little tiny seed came in me, and I thought, wow, I have all these other students too who care about social issues. What if I took a branch off of my school and opened up a company? And so that was the beginning of it. That was my founding, that was how it started.
They are very different from other dance companies in that you don't need a dance background in order to participate in the company. All you need is a real strong will and interest in making change and expressing yourself through dance and dealing with social issues. And that difference sort of lends a lot of freedom to young women, the young women in the company, exploring their own movement vocabulary and finding a different way to express themselves. From our point of view, particularly for persons with disabilities, there's so much that you can express with movement. And so that's been a wonderful opportunity, I think, for all the girls to communicate on different levels as well.
we do like war, child's rights, justice, hunger. We also do I Am, which is about inclusion, and there's also We Are Children, about children's rights, and also some on gay rights, and also more on, and our last dance is actually on stereotypes.
I think that dance, of all the art forms, tends to be the most narrow and elitist. You have to have a very when people hear the word dance, they think of a certain type of body, they think of a certain type of aesthetic, and they think of people who tend to be very coordinated and steps. We've thrown all that out the window, so we don't. I embrace and love all types of bodies, and I think it's a real disservice to our community to only allow people to dance with certain types of bodies, because we're not then hearing through movement from the majority of the population.
Back when I wasn't in the company, I had a lot of trouble to deal with, a lot of stuff I needed to fix. I was actually being bullied a lot. I didn't have a voice to be heard back then, and I wanted my voice to be heard. I Am is a dance that I created, and at first I came to my dance instructor and I said, Hannah, there's something I want to tell you, because I want to create my own dance, because some people aren't included, and so we formed the company. At first it was a solo, but then it turned into a group piece. But now, since I'm in the dance company, I feel much more brave, much more courageous to tell people more about what it's like to be included. And being included is actually a really, really good thing.
Jessie's dance, I Am, explores many things. It explores her feelings on having Down syndrome, as well as her feelings on how she thinks people perceive her. And it's really interesting because she talks a lot about sort of being in a box, and she's creating boxes around her, and how she sees that people just see her as somebody with Down syndrome, as this one-dimensional character. And I think it's really interesting, because a lot of people have that stereotype. So a lot of people, when we go into schools, they don't even their feedback afterwards is that we didn't even know you knew you had Down syndrome. So it's breaking down, like for kids, this idea that she's just a person, and it's quite kind of irrelevant. Like, you have red hair, you have Down syndrome, you have black hair. Like, it's just another part of her genetic makeup. And it's interesting. She explores the emotional side of that.